Charlie is fixing a plane in his garage that his wife Sarah gave him for his birthday. Sarah tells him she needs to leave soon for a work trip to London. She asks him to join her once more, but Charlie says no because he has too much to do. A bit later, Charlie gets to CIA headquarters. While walking to the decryption and analysis section, he passes through all the security machines that he created and starts his workday. Out of nowhere, he gets a message from Inquiline, a secret contact he's worked with for many years. Like always, they have important classified information to sell him, though this time Inquiline says these papers might be dangerous for the CIA. Charlie tries to figure out where they are and guesses Istanbul, but Inquiline says that's wrong. Later he works on studying the files, but even someone as smart as him cannot break the code. After his lunch break, Charlie returns to his desk and gets a phone call from Sarah, who says she's landed in London. But Charlie knows this already because he's been watching her location. They keep the conversation brief because he really wants to continue with the secret papers. When he still cannot break the code, he brings his laptop to the special area, where a better system lets him work more quickly. It takes some time, but he finally accesses the data in the papers, which shocks him deeply. These are highly secret government records, showing that a drone attack, disguised as a suicide bombing, was approved and hidden. There are video clips from news programs showing 150 deaths, including French military forces and Danish Marines. This entire mission was run by Chief Moore, who is Charlie's supervisor. That evening at his house, Charlie tries phoning Sarah, but she doesn't pick up, so he records a message. The following day, Charlie gets to the building and is shocked to see Moore there waiting. Moore brings Charlie to Director O'Brien's office, who just started recently. She says that there's been a terror attack at a London hotel, and Sarah was killed. Charlie won't accept it and wants to phone Sarah, so Moore switches on the television to show him the report. The journalist explains how 4 attackers rushed into the hotel, captured 4 people and murdered 2 of them. Then Moore shows the hotel's camera video, which displays all the disorder during the attack and proves that Sarah died. When Charlie returns home, he sees many journalists hoping for an interview and police officers keeping them away. A buddy helps Charlie get into the house without trouble. The following day, Charlie questions Moore and Supervisor Caleb because he's really doubtful about what took place. He cannot accept that the attackers could have avoided the many security cameras in London, and they also drove during busy traffic. Moore says they're looking into it, but Caleb tells him to go home. The next day, Charlie travels to the airport to collect Sarah's body and her things. At his house, he opens the suitcase and discovers a present Sarah had purchased for him, which causes him to break down emotionally. Sick of staying home, Charlie returns to the office and uses the special computer to break into the security cameras at the hotel and nearby roads. He creates a sequence of what happened and presents it to his bosses. The 4 attackers took a car in the East End, then got into the hotel through the back entrance, where they expertly removed all fingerprints and DNA. It seems they had an appointment with Impact Investments from Indonesia, but something went badly, and a fight began in the hallway. One of the company's guards got mad, so an attacker fired his weapon, killing one guard and badly hurting the other one. Hotel guards were told right away, and they contacted the police. Wanting to exit the place without capture, the attackers went into the meeting room and grabbed some prisoners. Sarah was taken because she attempted to help some of the people get away. Charlie has done voice and face checks, so he's learned the names of the 4 attackers. They're Mishka from Moscow, a past South African military soldier named Lawrence, hired fighter Horst, and former spy Gretchen. Seeing Caleb's and Moore's lack of surprise, Charlie understands they knew all along. They tell Charlie they're handling it and make him visit a counselor. The following day, Charlie hides a chip in his work badge and walks through security without the machines finding it. In his workspace, he copies all the secret files and uses a copying device on the printer to make an electronic version. That evening, Charlie visits a bar and keeps looking at a music player. The next morning, Charlie confronts his bosses, once more using the copied files. He names all of Moore's secret operations, like destroying a Syrian medical center and hitting a friendly base in Yemen, which murdered many innocent people. He says he'll bring everything to the director and tells them he's set up a safety system. If he doesn't type a code every 5 hours, the proof will go to the biggest news companies. For keeping quiet, Charlie wants complete CIA preparation, false identification papers, money, a weapon, and information on Sarah's murderers. After the talk, Charlie goes back to his vehicle and gets sick from the pressure. In the building, Moore says that the safety system is fake, but Caleb says they cannot take that chance. They'll look for the trigger if it's really fake. Then they can cause a fatal accident during preparation. Sometime later, Caleb and his group try to figure out how Charlie duplicated the private files. They talk about the chance of a copying device, which wouldn't function on their protected computers, but might work on a printer. Charlie might have transmitted the files to the printer and used a magnetic device to duplicate the information. Looking at camera recordings, they see that Charlie purchased a magnetic device at a shop, but they still cannot figure out how he brought it in and out of the building. The group also looks through Charlie's house and finally learns he visited a certain bar 2 times. They visit the bar to examine it and discover an ABBA music disc under the music player. Caleb picks that disc in the music player list, and only static can be heard, so they remove the disc that Charlie put there. At the same time, Charlie gets to a CIA preparation building, where he's greeted by Colonel Henderson. They begin at the gun practice area, but sadly Charlie isn't skilled with guns. He has to get very near to the target to hit the correct place. But when it comes to creating explosives, Charlie performs amazingly quickly, impressing Henderson. Then Charlie must memorize his fake identity, so Henderson bothers him and pushes him around so Charlie can still repeat his new details even when stressed. Finally, they complete the new identification papers. That evening, Henderson visits Charlie's room and says he isn't a murderer, but Charlie says he needs payback. Then Henderson takes out a weapon and gives it to Charlie, telling him to point at his body. Charlie's hands keep trembling, and he finally lowers the weapon. At the building, the workers spend many hours decoding the data in the disk until they learn that Charlie had been lying about the safety system. They quickly tell their bosses, not knowing that Charlie is watching them. It appears that the chip he put on his badge was really a listening device that he placed on the files he gave to his superiors. Moore right away phones Henderson and says to arrest Charlie, but he's already gone. After ending the call, Moore finally notices the listening device on the files and speaks to Charlie directly to say this is betrayal. Charlie removes his earpiece before getting on a plane. When Charlie lands in London, he passes through border control and begins traveling to Paris. His fake identification shows up in the CIA's systems, so Moore tells Henderson to chase him. In Paris, Charlie gets a hotel room near the eating place where Gretchen is often spotted. Soon she appears and is near enough for him to begin following her phone signal. Charlie then waits all day outside Gretchen's building and stays until she's not there. When a resident exits, he uses the opportunity to enter. Then he watches an internet video to open the lock of Gretchen's apartment. Charlie starts looking through the place and photographs Gretchen's calendar. He also discovers a weapon in a storage space, so he keeps it. Right then his tracking device tells him that Gretchen is returning, so he hurries to the stairway to wait for her. But when she comes home at last, he cannot shoot. Feeling let down, he rushes to the hotel and imagines Sarah is there with him. After settling down, he looks carefully at the photographs and discovers that Gretchen has been visiting the medical center frequently. Breaking into her medical records shows she has reactions to things. The next morning, Charlie purchases many flowers. Then he stays at the coffee shop until he spots Gretchen and goes after her to the medical center. Gretchen is having some medical tests, but the physician sees that the computer display is broken, so he exits the room to ask for assistance. Charlie enters wearing a physician's clothes and traps Gretchen inside the machine. She begins to worry, but Charlie doesn't pay attention while filling the space with flower dust. The physician and a medical worker hear the sound, but the entrance is locked as well. Gretchen begins to feel sick because of her reactions, and Charlie says he'll assist if she reveals where to locate Horst, since he's the person who killed Sarah. The reactions prevent Gretchen from speaking, so Charlie opens the machine, only for Gretchen to shove him toward the desk. They begin struggling throughout the room, pushing each other into all the equipment. Charlie takes out his weapon, but Gretchen knocks him over and opens the entrance to run away finally. A panicked Charlie goes after her to the road, but before he can fire, Gretchen is hit by a vehicle. Shocked by the body, Charlie makes himself get closer to take her phone. Then he escapes and throws the medical clothes in the garbage. At the hotel, he cleans off all the blood and gathers his belongings. That evening he travels to the bus stop and purchases a pass for Marseilles. Before long, the report of Gretchen's death gets to the CIA. O'Brien asks more about this, and he simply says that Gretchen seems to have been murdered by one of their people. That evening, Charlie visits a bar and consumes alcohol to forget the shame he feels about Gretchen's death. He believes he spots Sarah moving to music, but a better look shows it's a lady that resembles her. Then Charlie sees Henderson getting near him and worries. He pushes through crowds until he exits the bar and runs down the roads until he locates a different bar to hide in. Henderson goes there too, so Charlie hurries to the restroom and secures the entrance. Sadly, there are no windows here, so Charlie must exit. He meets Henderson at the bar and discovers that he located him by following Gretchen's phone. After a quick talk, Charlie shows a countdown on his phone and runs out before an explosive goes off in the restroom. Disorder fills the bar and Henderson cannot see Charlie. The tracking on his phone stops working as well. The next morning, Charlie reaches out to the Inquiline to request their assistance and departs on a cargo aircraft to Turkey. In Istanbul, he visits an eating place and messages Inquiline. Seeing a person's phone ringing, he tries to get near him, but is stopped by a lady who says to look at his phone. Then Charlie exits the eating place, and the lady gets near him once more, confirming she's Inquiline. She knows about his wife already, so she makes him put his hat and bag in a shopping container. Inquiline needs him to act like shopping for some time and meet him at a car building. Soon after, Charlie meets with her once more, and she takes him to her residence. During the drive, Inquiline explains that she became a computer expert 6 years back after her husband passed away. He was a CIA helper and worked for Russian spies. Actually, he was the first Inquiline and showed her everything. The public story says he fell from a window by accident. When they get to her residence, Inquiline says this is the single location she's stayed longer than 3 years and admits she's exhausted from escaping. If the Russians come for her someday, she has a weapon to end things. Then they begin discussing the situation. Horst is the boss who hires fighters for more. Lawrence is a weapons seller, so Inquiline offers to act as a weapons seller to reach him. Finally, there's Mishka, who moves around often and shares everything on the internet. They look at the images closely and locate a lady with him. Face recognition brings them to her internet account, and they verify she's in Spain. The following day, Caleb tells his group to watch the attackers to locate Charlie. O'Brien talks with Moore and says she needs him to quit running secret missions without her permission. Moore says her previous boss gave him the identical speech, so he'll say the same thing he said before. She has his complete backing. After the talk, O'Brien gets in her vehicle, and her helper shows her an image of Henderson in Spain. It's verified that Moore dispatched him, so O'Brien sends one of her workers after him. At the same time, Charlie and Inquiline locate Mishka by breaking into a hotel's security cameras. Charlie then moves to Madrid and stays at the identical hotel. He discovers that Mishka enjoys swimming in the pool that links two structures by their tops. At the identical time, Henderson finds Charlie in the location. The following day, Charlie begins making a tool that will assist him to get Mishka and puts it inside the hotel. Later, he goes after Mishka to the bar, not aware of Henderson in the entrance area. Charlie spots a questionable person at the bar and understands he's noticed him earlier, which means he's being tracked. He informs Inquiline through his ear device, so she looks up his face and verifies he's a CIA worker. She also spots Henderson on the camera and tells Charlie to stop, but he needs to continue with the strategy. When Mishka visits the pool, Charlie faces him to demand where to locate Horst. If he stays quiet, the pool will break. Mishka doesn't accept this and begins swimming off, so Charlie hits a button and the glass begins to split. A worried Mishka begins swimming more quickly, but it's too late. The glass shatters and he drops to his death while the water pours onto the road. Then Inquiline tells Charlie that Henderson and the other worker are getting nearer and gives him ways to get away. A pursuit happens and Henderson nearly grabs him, but right then the other worker attacks as well. The person tackles Henderson and they begin struggling in the laundry space. Charlie observes how they keep pushing each other throughout the room, and Henderson puts the person's head into a clothes washer. The worker takes out a weapon and fires at Henderson, only for him to grab the weapon and fire at him instead. Then Charlie enters and thinks about whether he should assist them, but Inquiline tells him to escape. The following day, O'Brien takes Moore to her building and questions him about Charlie. Moore says he's on grief time off, and she releases him before showing she's obtained video from the hotel. At the same time, Caleb and his group examine the identical video and understand Charlie had assistance. They examine Charlie's coded conversations and finally locate the messages from Inquiline. After a big search, they find the record of the dead worker, known as Inquiline, and figure that his wife must have continued. That evening, Charlie and Inquiline decide to rest beside each other only for support. But they're awakened by Inquiline's birds making noise, and they spot a group of workers getting near on the security cameras. The pair quickly runs through a secret passage in the barrier, and as they exit, Charlie spots a flying camera in the air. By sneaking into a different structure, the pair keeps moving and exits the area right before the workers rush into the residence. The computer is already erasing all the records, so there's nothing remaining for them. After running along the shore, the pair reaches Inquiline's vehicle, and they're spotted by the flying camera. Before long, the workers chase them with weapons firing, even going after them on a watercraft. After a big chase, the workers hurt the vehicle enough to make it halt, and Inquiline is fatally wounded. Charlie must push the body to the other place and control the vehicle so he can continue moving until he finally escapes his chasers. Afterward, he puts the vehicle in the car building and says goodbye to Inquiline with a kiss. The following day, Charlie reaches out to Lawrence and acts like an arms seller to set up a meeting. Then Charlie purchases new technology and moves to Romania. In an empty structure, he films his own face and breaks into a security system in Berlin. Now the CIA believes he's in Berlin and dispatches their people there. When Lawrence shows up finally, he locates a ringing phone on a seat. Charlie says to examine inside a container, and Lawrence discovers a group of explosives. If he shifts, they'll blow up. As Lawrence sees an image of Sarah in the container, Charlie shows up behind him, requesting Horst's whereabouts, and offering to turn off the explosives if he helps. Lawrence says that Horst works in Russian waters, and usually gets supplies at a Baltic Ocean port. Charlie then requests how to reach Horst, so Lawrence says he only receives messages through hidden codes from his people. All the contact details and identities are on his phone, which he drops on the floor. After taking the phone, Charlie exits and hears the explosives killing Lawrence in the next room. Before long, the CIA receives the report of Lawrence's death in Romania, and they understand they've been examining false video. Afterward, in a Russian hotel, Charlie pictures Sarah with him and opens the present. It's a puzzle that he finishes fast and has a kind message from his wife within. In the morning, he travels to the port and spots a questionable vehicle. He transmits the code to Horst's people and spots a person by the questionable car look at his phone. He goes after the person and photographs his watercraft before exiting. After purchasing some equipment, Charlie returns to the hotel and locates the large boat that the watercraft belongs to by looking up its identification code. He also examines the ocean paths Horst might be taking. In the morning, Charlie gets near the watercraft, and somebody hits him unconscious from behind, making him release Sarah's puzzle. Charlie is brought to the large boat where he meets Horst at last, who located the explosive Charlie put earlier. Horst has seen that Charlie murdered the others in indirect ways, and believes he's not able to do it directly. He passes Charlie a weapon and requests him to do it, but Charlie is unable and sets the weapon down. Suddenly, the large boat begins rotating into the reverse way, and the workers panic. Charlie shows he's taken control of the large boat, which is CIA managed. Since he worked on the safety rules that defend this large boat, it was simple for him to break into it and direct it to Finland. Before long, the large boat is encircled by the Finnish Navy and Interpol, who quickly arrest Horst and his people. Sometime afterward, O'Brien holds a news event to say they've arrested all the corrupt workers that have been using the CIA's resources for unlawful activities. Charlie is met by Henderson, who says he's proud of what he's accomplished. After going to Sarah's burial place, Charlie returns home and takes the plane for a flight at last.